Good day, everyone, and welcome to our ProTraining technical webinar. Today we have Kevin Behrens from CSI presenting. He will discuss solving pest problems with CSI Pressurized Solutions. Before we start, I'd like to review a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. Here's a quick review of what you'll see on your screen. To the left of your screen is the viewer, where you see the presentation. To the right is the control panel where you can ask questions. The control panel will collapse automatically when not in use. If you want to keep it open, click the View menu and uncheck Auto Hide Control Panel. You have joined this webinar in listen-only mode, which means you are muted. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions by typing them into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and we'll address them during the Q&A session at the end. Please note that we may not be able to answer all questions due to time constraints, but we will do our best to cover as many as possible. Later today, you'll receive a follow-up email containing the recording of this webinar for your reference. With that, let me introduce you to today's speaker. Kevin brings over 30 years of experience in pest control to his role as North Central Territory Manager for Control Solutions, Inc., the PCO division. Known for his deep industry knowledge, strong customer relationships, and extensive product expertise, Kevin is passionate about delivering innovative solutions to the pest management professionals. Formerly, Kevin worked for a national distributor and collaborated closely with many leading manufacturers, gaining hands-on knowledge of a wide range of products and pest management strategies. Drawn to CSI's diverse and forward-thinking product portfolio, he is committed to helping PMPs find the most effective tools to serve their customers. His background and strategic insight make him a valuable asset to the CSI team. With that, Kevin, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Chris. Hopefully everybody can hear me. First and foremost, before we get started, I just want to say thank you for everybody who is on this call. I realize that time is probably one of the most valuable things that we have. And you're not getting credits for this, but you are giving me time to help educate you a little bit. Hopefully, you know, when it's all said and done, you guys take something away from this. So with that, we're going to talk about basically the CSI aerosol line and how they can fit in to your service program and how they can help you be better pest professionals, hopefully. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna show you a video here, just a quick video about our introduction into the aerosol business. A little bit of background I think is always helpful. Just so you guys understand the reasoning behind kind of why we got into it and why we think it's beneficial for you and for us. So at the end, I'll have a link to the video. So if you don't hear it or it doesn't come through very well, like I said, at the end, I'll have a link, or at the end, I'll have my contact information. You can send it to me and I'll get it over to you.
My name is Mark Boyd, and I'm the president of Control Solutions Incorporated. CSI several years ago made the determination that we wanted to be more than just what we were perceived as a generic company. We launched a program within our R&D and product development so that we could develop and bring to the market innovative and differentiated products over a period of time.
When we talk about delivering new and innovative products to the market, we want to make sure that they're tested and that they're proven. And we're looking to make sure that innovation, again, means more than just new and different, but means value added to our end users.
The fact that we have so many people thinking about new revolutionary products has built a huge pipeline of products that we will be developing and introducing over the next decade.
We've got an entire family of excellent, high quality, economical aerosol solutions for the pest management industry.
The CSI Pressurized Solutions line has had a vast number of people and departments working working on this. We've been working on it for almost 2 years, and we have had various people through operations, sales, marketing, and product development building this. We have probably spent more than 2,000 hours of man time building our aerosol line.
CSI has currently spent a little over $2 million to install the new pressurized solutions operation into our current facility. The square footage of the new pressurized solutions facility is 18,000 square feet total. This facility was built with the most recent technology available. We have the ability to do 2 different liquid fills and 2 different propellant fills on our products if necessary. So this facility was designed more to be able to provide specialized formulations that we can do small runs on.
CSI's tagline of innovation you can apply is really more than a tagline here at CSI. We really take it to heart. We look at providing innovation not just for the sake of innovation, but for the sake of our customers and our customers' customers, the PMPs and the end users. We want to make sure that we are easy to do business with and that we continue to provide solutions that save our customers time and money.
We've just now started changing the perception of who we are in the industry. And my vision is that we will absolutely launch products in the next 5 years that will change the industry. And we will continue for many more years to come, growing and creating products that create value for the pest control industry.
Oh, let me stop that. All right, so Chris, I'm trying to advance and
Facility is 18.
not going to the next slide.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe come out and come back into your presentation real quick.
Okay,
My name is Howard Stauber.
let me stop
Or
that.
use the arrow on your keyboard, on your
That's
computer
what-
keyboard.
That's what I'm trying to do, yeah.
Okay, or the lower left hand of your slide, you should see some arrow. Keep going to the left, keep going to the, no, further down to the left.
Yeah.
Now there, click,
Gotcha.
there you go.
I'm going to go forward. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. A little technical error on my part. So really the key takeaway that I want from that video is that, you know, we're committed to this business. We're committed to innovation. We actually can all of our products at our facility in Pasadena, Texas. So we don't toll it out. We don't have somebody making our aerosols for us. We're making them ourselves. And ideally what that does is it gives us better quality control. I'd love to sit here today and tell you that every can that goes out is perfect, but it's not. I mean, there's a science to it. Sometimes the caps don't fit right, things like that. I'll just say if you have any issues or anything like that, you can get a hold of me or get a hold of your authorized distributor and we'll work it out for you and get it either replaced or get you a credit on that. So, all right, so why aerosols, right? Everybody goes, I don't know, aerosol's a little bit more expensive, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of benefits to an aerosol. First and foremost, no measuring or mixing of concentrates, right? So you're not having to, you know, you don't have the exposure of mixing chemical into a B&G or some sort of sprayer. There you go, reduces the application exposure. It reduces cost associated with spillage or waste or contamination. And when you're done with the can, you throw it away, right? I mean, you don't have to worry about triple rinse or anything like that. So the other benefit you get out of a can is that the label is right on the can, right? So it's not, oh, I need the label, right? You know, I got to go back to my truck and find the label on, you know, on Taurus or whatever. Everything is on the can for you. So some nice benefits. It's ready to use, right? So you take it in, you use it, you come back out, you're done, right? Convenient, easy application. It's a great option where you need a quick solution, but you don't have time or you don't have product or you don't want to mix up a gallon of product. So very easy to use, right? Effectively gets the product into the cracks and crevices and voids where the pests thrive, right? So when you're using a sprayer, you got to have your maybe your pin stream or something like that. This, right? The aerosol is actually the straw, gets you right into that crack and crevice where, you know, the pests are hanging out. So especially in commercial kitchens, right? So you're in there for a while, you're gonna be down on the ground. It's easy to have an aerosol can to use versus lugging around maybe a B&G, right? Especially if you know that you got to get into a harborage or deep into an area or a crack and crevice. So before we get into kind of our products, the Control Solutions products, whatever, I'll give you like a quick aerosol of our, you know, anatomy of our can. So just so you understand it, right? So in an aerosol can, there's headspace, there's propellant, there's the liquid, and then there's the base, right? And so the space left at the top of the can after filling allows some of the propellant to remain in gas form, right? That's how you get your spray. Same ingredient as propellant in liquid form, it remains in a gas at the top of the can into the headspace to maintain pressure. So that keeps the pressure in your can. Liquid contents, that's your chemical, right? And then the curved base. It's curved for a reason. So it aids in the counteracting high pressure within the can. I'm just reading for you here. While that dip tube is positioned to get the maximum use of product. So if you notice, the tube is at an angle, right? And that's so it gets to the bottom and we are getting as much product out of there as we can. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do another quick video real fast and then videos are done, right? So again, this will be at the end. There might be another video in there, but I'll skip it. So just this one real quick, just so you understand.
Introducing CSI's Pressurized Solutions products with new aerosols designed for multi-directional use, hence the 360-degree valve. Let's take a look at the anatomy of the aerosol can. The dip tube goes down within the can at an angle into a well formed by the convex bottom of the can. The valve that empties the can includes a mechanism that allows the can to be used in any direction, from straight up to 180 degrees inverted. The mechanism is a small ball that will block the tube when it's upside down, allowing the material to flow from the top of the can. When the can is right side up, the material is allowed to flow to the dip tube. Once about 70% or more of the material has been emptied, the angle in which you hold the can will determine whether the dip tube is still submerged in liquid. If the dip tube is no longer submerged in liquid, it will start to release propellant only. If this happens, it will be nearly impossible to completely empty the can. To avoid this, use the can in either an upright or fully inverted position. Thank you for watching. It is our goal to maximize the use of your product. CSI, innovation you can apply. Introducing CSI.
Ah, shoot. All right, we got it. Never mind. Sorry about that, Chris. I thought I was going all the way back to the beginning again. Anyway, so now you understand, right? So our cans can be used straight up or straight down, right? You get when there's propellant and everything in there, you can use it at like an inverted, but you know, when you get to the end of the can, you want to make sure you're either using it straight up or inverted, fully inverted. Anybody have any questions on that? I guess we'll save those to the end, or you can throw it in the chat if you have any questions about it. All right, so we're going to start talking about kind of our products and you know, how you can use them in your service today. First one I'm going to start off with, guys, listen, I was debating how to do this, but I'm starting off with, I mean, this is the product. In my opinion, best aerosol on the market today. It's, I don't know, man. I mean, this is the dog. This is the one, right? I'm going to call it the GOAT, right? It's relatively new, so all time might not be that long, but I mean, this is the Tom Brady, the Michael Jordan, the Tiger, the Muhammad Ali, right? This is the full 1-2 punch, right? I mean, this is the product, and it's called Doxim NXT. And so you're saying, Kev, what? I mean, why are you so excited about this? I mean, what makes this so special? Well, I'm going to tell you, right? Doxim NXT, there's 4 active ingredients in it, right? Indoxacarb, imidacloprid, novaluron, and pyriproxfen. We believe in combination chemistry, right? So, right, we could have a product that maybe just has a non-repellent or a repellent in it, right? I mean, that's a good punch, right? You might knock somebody out, but if you add another combination in there, right, that affects the insect at a different level, now you got a 1-2 punch, right? This one you're actually doing. I don't know if you guys remember back in the 80s, there was a game called King of Boxing, right? It was like body blow, uppercut, and then it's down goes Frazier, right? That's how this is, right? So you got 4 products in here that and to help take out the insect. So the indoxacarb, right? That's a group 22A voltage dependent sodium channel blocker. Not that you care about that, but that's one way that it attacks the sodium channel of the insect, right? Imidacloprid, it's a neonate, right? It's basically hits them in a different, I'm not a scientist, guys, sorry about that. I would get really detailed here, and I could get all this information for you if you need it, but it affects it at a different place on the insect. Pyriproxyfen is a juvenile hormone analog, right? So it basically allows the insect to become an adult, but it can't, right? It can't reproduce, right? And then Novaluron actually is a chitin synthesis inhibitor where it actually stops the insect from molting to the next phase. And that's important because, right, so if you're using just a juvenile hormone analog like pyriproxyfen or hydroprene or something like that, you're still going to have roaches, right? It's just in the end, they can't reproduce, right? So with Novaluron, you're going to kill them in different phases of their molting. So anyway, 4 active ingredients, 4 different modes, exceptional efficacy, application flexibility. The first aerosol to contain indoxacarb, bang. The first product to combine indoxacarb and imidacloprid, bam. I feel like we're in a Batman movie. The first aerosol containing imidacloprid to have food handling on label. Food handling, so you can use it in commercial kitchens. Pow. First aerosol to combine imidacloprid and 2 IGRs. I mean, guys, I could probably stop here and you're like, what else do we need, Kev? I'm just going to put this in my box and this is going to work, right? Well, it is. But we have some other great products I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So something to remember, excellent general purpose tool, right? The label, very broad label, a lot of insects. Spot, crack and crevice, or void applications, right? Unique combination of AIs. I can't stress that enough. Long-term pest management of pest population. So, you know, when you get in that crack and crevice, right, you got 2 non-repellents in there, right? So if the indoxacarb's not getting them, the imidacloprid is, and if for some whatever reason that, you know, they're still around, right, you have your growth regulators in there that are helping any future broods. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Again, I'm just repeating myself here, but the one thing on this slide to really keep in mind is that it won't contaminate bait, right? So if you're doing a baiting program, right, and you still want to use the baits, you can use baits, and you got the 2 non-repellents, so you don't have to worry about bait contamination. Obviously, you don't want to go in and spray right on top of where the bait is, but you know, you can use it in conjunction without fear. So one tool for any pest. Look, mattresses, furniture, kills termites, kills flies, commercial kitchens. Again, you're asking me why I'm even going on, but I'm going to. I'm going to continue on because we have other great products. All right. A little bit on the efficacy, right? Just so you guys know, right? I'm sitting here saying it. I want you to have trust and believe in me. I want to give you the best products to help you be the best PMP that you can be and to control, you know, the insects or the pests for your customers. So I'm I'm going to give you some science here, right? So the efficacy on bed bugs, right? 24 hours, dead, right? Within about 15 minutes, actually, they're dead, right? So we just kept on going, 24 hours, dead. I'm not sure exactly how this was done or who tested it. I can get that information if anybody's interested. I think it's in my notes, but I can't see them. So what about roaches, Kev, right? So sometimes we go in and there's situations where we go into maybe a low-income housing or something like that where they have roaches and bed bugs. Look at this. One product, guys. You don't need to take in a whole bunch of stuff, right? Because this is working on German cockroaches too. Look, 15 minutes, right? Bang, dead. 24 hours, all gone. Again, peace of mind, right? You're going in, peace of mind. You got the product that's going to take care of that for you. What about silverfish, right? I'm not sure why we chose silverfish, but you know, there's probably limited products, I think, maybe with silverfish on the label. 1 minute, bam, gone. 1 hour, gone, dead. Let's go. Odorous house ants, right? Again, you got the non-repellents, right? So you're going to get the benefit of that, maybe that transfer effect going on, right? So you got that going on along with all the other growth regulators and things in there. You're killing it. Carpenter ants, bam, right? We did it with a competitive product here. I'm not going to name names. It's not what I do, but, right, look how quick it is, right? At 30 minutes, you're already at almost 80% reduction, your mortality, right? After 2 hours, let's say 4 hours, you're completely done, right? I mean, you got 100%. Oh, this is on pine wood. The last one was on tile. So again, high rate of mortality on pine wood. Not sure why this one comes in at just under 100, but it did. Oriental cockroaches, right? Another problem down in you know, in basements, maybe in commercial accounts, things like that. Oriental cockroaches, again, quick kill, long-term control. There it is on pine wood again. I guess that's just what the testing was on pine wood and on ceramic tile. So in a can, right? If you're doing crack and crevice, 1 second on the aerosol, right? 1 second pushing down is 1.5 grams of product. And that covers 1 lineal foot. So just in case you're wondering, right? I get this question sometimes. How many placements are in a can? 283 when you're doing crack and crevice, right? When you're doing a void treatment, right? You're holding that trigger down longer because you're covering, you know, more space. 57 to 28 placements per can. And if you're doing spot treatments, 142 per can, right? So I don't know if you guys get down into the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty of all those numbers, but that'll give you an idea. 283 placements per can doing crack and crevice, which is where I think it fits best. You could also do it. Now, this isn't an aerosol, but I threw this in there because you can do that in conjunction with our Doxim Precise, right? And I'm just real quick, I mean, again, a very, very broad label, but you use our PDS gun, it gives you precise application. So there's no question, right? When you hold it down, so there's the gun, right? When you hold it down for X amount of time, you are getting a very precise application. We could talk this about another time. You can give me a call, ask me about it. You could ask your distributors about it, whatever. But this allows you to get even deeper back into the harborages. And it's a dry flowable, so it stays there basically until it gets picked up by an insect. There you go. Low rate is a 3-second pull and then up to 8 second for large voids. Anyway, we can talk about that later. This is about aerosols. This isn't about the dry flowables. But the Doxim NXT, in my opinion, best product on the market, truly is the GOAT. It's very versatile. If you're using any other aerosols, you can go from maybe 2 aerosols, because you have one's a non-repellent, one's repellent, whatever. You can go down to 1 aerosol, right? And you're getting the benefit of 4 active ingredients. Can't stress it enough. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. That's it. Teco Trio Foam, right? So Teco Trio Foam, right? And again, when we talk about the aerosols, a lot of it's going to be the multiple, right, technology here. So proprietary formulation, 3 IGRs, right? Novaluron, pyriproxfen, and hydroprene. And so the question might be, Kev, why 3, right? So again, they all kind of affect a little bit differently, right? So the pyriproxfen and the hydroprene are both juvenile hormone analogs, but the hydroprene is lighter, so it'll float. I'm doing air quotes in case anybody can see. You can't. I'm doing air quotes. It'll float, right? So it'll get deeper into that harborage. And then the Novaluron is the chitin synthesis inhibitor. So, and I think that's the game changer really in all of these. So it's ready to use. It's non-repellent, right? It's just growth regulators. It's innovative solution for commercial kitchens, right? So again, I would do Doxum, so you get some residual in there. But if you're trying to stay away from that, or you're going to be working in drains, right? The Teco Trio Foam is great for that. Impacts pests you can't see, reaches inaccessible areas. It's long lasting. The foam clings to the underside of equipment, right? So the benefit you get here is it'll cling, and then as it dissipates, it dries, whatever, you're good. It stays there. 15 ounces gives you 1,125 square feet. It's indoor only. Again, when I think about it, I think about maybe drains come to mind mostly for me with this product, right? Because if you're doing the crack and crevice, you might as well be putting down some residual also. But if that's not an option, or you're trying to keep it, where you're not using any sort of residual, Teco Trio Foam is a great answer or response for that. So again, 3 IGRs, right? The hydroprene is in there because it volatilizes into the harborage, gives you a little bit deeper, right? A little bit deeper coverage. Basically a resistant management tool, right? So if you have or concerned or worried about resistance, right? You don't have resistance here. Let's see, stops development of the next generation. So I mean that's really the key, and it affects multiple stages in the pest life. Like I said, the juvenile hormone analog, is going to stop them in the end, where the Novaluron is going to stop them when they go to molt. So if you have any questions on that, feel free, put it in there. Again, here was a study done. This was done with German cockroaches, right? I don't think I have one in here of flies, but we'll see. No next generation of cockroaches. No new nymphs are observed, right? So that's critical, right? Direct application, 1 ounce per 1,000 square. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you this one here, right? So you say Teco Trio Foam, right? Which is what we're talking about here, right? Dead nymphs, right? IGR affected adults, right? So there's the juvenile hormone analog. Some of the competitive products, right? You don't have near as many dead nymphs, right? Dead is good though. We want dead, right? You still have some normal adults, and then you have the IGR affected adults, right? I don't know. I think that combination with the Novaluron in there is really making a difference there. Reduction of new nymphs. There it is again. All right, that's it on that. Fuse foam. I mean, I was worried about whether or not I was going to be able to do 45 minutes or an hour, but whew. All right, fuse foam. Fuse foam features both imidacloprid and fipronil. It's a non-repellent termiticide insecticide. mainly it's used for like voids, right? And so this is going to be used maybe for carpenter ants or for where you have active termites, right? And you need to get a quick stop, maybe because you got to come back to do a full treatment. Yeah, so you're going to be looking at nests, tubes, galleries. You're going to be looking at tree stumps, decks, siding, things like that. It has a 30-day reapplication interval. But if you see, right, in our label, it actually says that if you see activity before then, that you can reapply. Flip up the actuator, drill, if you have to, apply it into the void. It's a 30-to-1 expansion ratio. 5 seconds on the trigger gives you 1 ounce of product or 1 quart of foam. Basically, you get 3.5 gallons of foam out of a can. All right, this just has, again, this was a test. I'm going to get to that pretty quick. Really not a whole lot of difference, I'll be honest. So, you know, the other products that are out there that are imidacloprid or yeah, why am I drawing a blank there? Fipronil work just as, I mean, they work just as well. Again, my thinking is though, right? There you're using just fipronil or just imidacloprid. Here you got both acting a little bit differently on the pest, right? So you might as well, if you can just, I mean, 1 punch is good, 2 punches are better. That's kind of my take on that. But great product, very affordable. Again, I think anybody doing termite work, you should have either fused foam or one of the other products in your trucks, simply because it's an easy way to go in, especially inside, right, where you know you have activity going through the wood, and just make a quick application in there. It's non-repellent, and they're going to start, right, you're going to start that killing process. I threw in Tortoise Dry, again, not an aerosol, but it's our dry flowable. You could use it in conjunction with, again, instead of putting out a liquid, you're putting out a dry flowable product. This is not a bait. Basically, it's fipronil, right? And they're going to cross to it, and they're picking it up. They don't even know. Yeah, so just throwing that in there. Just again, another option. Gives you a little bit different look too, right? So instead of having an aerosol or whatever, you're going in and you have the professional look of the PDS gun itself, right? And so, you know, there's some perception on that also. All right, Defense NXT, great product, great product. I like this too. This is going to be your repellent, right? So Doxum was your 2 non-repellents. This is going to be your repellent. I don't even know, repellent might not even be the right word anymore. I don't know if they still use that. I think they're changing the terminology, but that's for another talk. Anyway, deltamethrin, novaluron, pyriproxyfen. I think you're seeing a trend here, right? We're big fans of the novaluron, pyriproxyfen, that combination chemistry there. Again, you're getting those growth regulators at 2 different ways on the pest, right? So from a long-term standpoint, it's a no-brainer. It's got the 360-degree valve, the flip-up actuator on it. I'd be curious for everybody's thoughts on the flip-up actuator, maybe as opposed to a button-type cap like some of the other products have. So the flip-up actuator, there's a lot of science goes into it, and we've had a couple issues with it in the past. I think we're past that. Well, I know that we're past that, but anyway, just curiosity what people's thoughts are on that. All right, again, 2 growth regulators, stops pyrethroid, to help stop the pyrethroid resistant pests. Right, you still get the pyrethroid, right? So you're going to get some of that repellent action. You know, if you want to block them out of a certain area, right, you're going to get that where it's a little bit hotter, right? So they're not as willing to go across that product. All right, Defense NXT lab study. Again, this is on bed bugs, right? So a great bed bug product, right? The difference here is you're getting quicker kill, right? Because of the pyrethroid over the non-repellents where you're waiting for them to cross over and things like that. So anyway, great product for bed bugs. It's got a great label on it. German cockroaches, same thing, right? We compared it against another product. Again, all the products work, guys. I mean, anything that you're buying out there is going to work, right? If you can get it to where the pest is, it's going to work for you, right? The difference is maybe the time, right? So in this case, right, the time to get the overall kill is quicker. Maybe it's the cost, right? So your cost per can or per ounce at the end of the day is less, but you're going to get just as good or better results. There's I know that there's a lot that goes into your decisions when thinking about what product to purchase. We feel like ours are priced very, very aggressive into the market and give you an opportunity to get great control of your pests. Again, this is cockroaches. It's just on pine wood. I'm going to go through this quick, right? Oriental cockroaches. This just gives you an idea, right, that it's very versatile, right? Bed bugs, store product pests, cockroaches. Just a really, really good product. Insects are susceptible at elevated temperature. If you're doing heat, it's a great product to use in conjunction with that. It's a great product to use after a follow-up on if you're doing fumigation, whatnot. All right, this goes into the after a heat treatment, right? All right, that's it on Defense NXT. Striker, Wasp, and Hornet. This one, pretty self-explanatory. This would be our wasp spray. It's a Prelethrin. Outdoors in the attics and crawl spaces, again, wasps, yellow jackets, hornets, spiders are around there. The only thing on the Striker, Wasp, and Hornet, that you really want to keep in mind is that it is petroleum based, right? So if you're hitting a hornet's nest or something like that in the corner, or a wasp nest in the corner around somebody's eaves or whatever, there is a risk of staining with the product. So yeah, but 20 feet away, you can use this. It works great. And again, very economically priced. Striker 54, right? So if anybody's out doing, if you're doing flushing, right? You're still using flushers out there, right? Maybe you're not sure where the pests are, right? So you're just hitting a flusher in the cracks and crevices, see if you can get them moving. Striker 54 is great for that. It's a 0.5% pyrethrin, 4% PBO. There are some other competitive products out there that are the same, right? As far as the amount of active in it. You're going to get the same results. Again, I think at the end of the day, ours tend to be a little bit more economical than some of the others. So, Striker 54, like I said, this is going to be any flushing or straight, pyrethrin PBO product. Excellent flushing action, right? You get a quick kill, right? Contact spray or a space spray. So you could actually go in if you had a warehouse, right? And you just want to do a space spray. You keep the straw down, you can do a space spray on it. Again, a lot of crawling and flying insects. You get no residual on this, right? No residual. That's the difference here. No residual, right? So you do it and it's done, right? So you can use it in, again, air quotes, and it's on there, green or sensitive accounts, right? Because you don't have that residual. 360-degree valve, and again, dual spray with the straw applicator. So if you got to do space spray, you keep the straw down. If you want to do a flush, you flip the straw up, and you use it that way. Pivot Ultra Plus. This would be our basically flea spray indoor, right? 3 active ingredients: Edifenprox, Preglithrin, and pyriproxfen. Again, combination chemistry. That's kind of where we're at right now. We're looking at, hey, what can we use, or what can we combine that's going to give you the best bang for your buck and your best punch right out of the gate for control. Fast immediate relief from biting fleas. It penetrates where the insects are living. Long-lasting control of adults and the larvae. Again, you're not having to do any kind of tank mix. You flip it upside down. It has it does the fan spray for you. You just hold the can and spray it, waving your hand back and forth. I don't know how that's probably not a great description. Disruption of the life cycle stops the next generation. That's the pyriproxfen in there. No PPE is required. Broadcast application for fleas and ticks. There's also some other pests labeled on it. Again, mainly when I think of this product, I'm thinking fleas in my head. But if you find yourself in a pinch, there are other pests on the label. Liquid flows through the body of the aerosol valve. Yeah, there you go. And it gives you a fine mist. Basically, our can covers 1,965 square feet because it's a 15-ounce can. Time saving, reduces mixing. I'm going to harp on that. Stops resistant populations. I'm going to harp on that. Fewer products needed on the truck. I mean, again, guys, aerosols makes life a little bit easier, right? Because you reduce the mixing. There it is on fleas. Again, our product works. The other products out there work. Again, so you at that point it becomes what are you more comfortable with using. So at the end of the day, I hope it's Pivot Ultra Plus. But like I said, there are others out there. 100% knockdown. Let's see if is there a study. Yeah. So we also had some ticks on there, right? After an hour, 100%. After 2 hours, both of them give you 100%. Dog tick, right? This is basically saying the stuff works, right? So, black widows. I don't know how. I know spiders can be a challenge at times, but it'll quickly kill them, right? And then you'll get long-term mortality and deaths out of them. I mean, it'll knock them down, but eventually they die. Brown recluse, same thing. Cellar spiders, you probably run across those more than anything in most basements. Turkestan cockroaches. All right, so our next product is called Spectre PS, right? The Spectre PS, I don't sell as much of this as I do the others, but this is a 0.5% chlorphenapyr. So it's a slow-acting, non-repellent formula, but it's long-lasting and it works. At the end of the day, you'll get long-term control out of this product. Again, non-repellent. So the insects don't avoid the area, right? So they're constantly going to be crossing over it. Again, chlorphenapyr, just another option for you there. That is, let's see how I do, Chris. My timer says I have 1 minute and 23 seconds. So it looks like I came in right on time or right under. This is my contact information. If you're not in my area or you're wondering maybe who your rep might be, you can go to our Control Solutions website, click on the PCO portion of it. There's a catalog that you can go to on the last page of it. It shows you all the reps and all the territories, and we're all here to help you. We have a great technical team that'll help us with more technical questions and things like that. We have a great operations team getting product out, and we have a great quality team. Like I said, I'd love to sit here and tell you guys all day long that every formulation we have goes out the door perfect. But you know, sometimes things happen. But the nice thing is we produce all of our products at our facility in Pasadena, Texas. So we know where to go if we have issues, and we will jump on it and take care of them. Oh, I did not have. Chris, do you have the links to the?
Yes.
To the, yeah. Okay. I don't have.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you trying to play the second video right now, or?
No, that was it. That was it.
Okay.
I did the two. I thought there was another one, but there's not. I'll open it up. I'll put my face on here now, which I'm not very excited about doing, but I'm done now. But if anybody has questions, or if you have anything for me, yeah, I'm open. We have time.
Yep. So Kevin, thanks for presenting such great informative information. We did get a couple of questions that came in. The first one's asking, what is the residual on the Doxim product?
As far as time, or I mean, the residual is the indoxacarb and the imidacloprid. I mean, they're non-repellents, but they are residual products. So they'll, you know, again, the insect will continue to cross over it, but as long as it's kind of in that protective space, it's going to be there for a while.
All right,
Hopefully
thank
that
you.
answers the question.
Yeah, I hope so too. It was a brief question, but here's another question for you asking, years ago, I bought into the hype of indoxacarb bait for German roaches. I found it rather ineffective. Is Doxim NXT your most recommended product for German roaches, or would you recommend a group of products?
Well, so the nice thing about, again, I mean, the nice thing about the Doxim NXT, or I mean, even you could use the Defense, right, NXT here. The difference is what we thought, or what our mindset was, listen, we're going to put those growth regulators in there also to help with that long-term control. I'm curious about the indoxacarb. I mean, for whoever asked, I mean, if it's in a bait, I'm not sure. Maybe there was some aversion or something like that. I don't know what could have caused that. The feedback that I've had from it in a bait form has been good. We don't have a indoxacarb type bait. We just came out with a fused cockroach control bait that has fipronil and abamectin in it. That I don't know. Maybe you want to try, but the indoxacarb is in there, and if you're concerned that that's not gonna, you know, about the control on that, you still have the imidacloprid, and you still have the two growth regulators in there that are going to be, again, taking out the pests in different ways.
Thanks, Kevin. Another question is asking, are aerosol cans economical to use out on jobs?
Yeah, I mean, again, right? I mean, your cost per may seem a little bit higher, but the convenience that you get out of having an aerosol can, again, the labels on it, there's no mixing, right? You're reducing any exposure, right? When you're done, you don't have to triple rinse and worry about what you're going to do with your rinse or anything like that, right? You just dispose of the can. So, I mean, at the end of the day, maybe you do the math, right? You sit down and you do the economics on it. You go, oh, it costs a little bit more per ounce to use an aerosol, but the additional benefits that you get out of an aerosol, I feel like kind of outweigh that. Good question. All of them good questions, by the way.
Yeah. Another question's asking, how do I dispose of cans when I'm done?
There you go, right? So again, as long as you had no issues, right, and you've used the can, you just throw it away, right? Now, I say that, and I'm talking, I mean, I can talk for myself in Hamilton County, Ohio, Cincinnati. Everybody's a little bit different. I mean, I would double check, but really at the end of the day, I mean, our can says you can just throw it, dispose of it like you would any other aerosol can.
Very good. Here's a question asking, can I use the aerosols around gel baits?
Yes, right. So not all of them, right? So you want to use, if you're baiting, you're going to want to use one of the aerosols that has a non-repellent in it, right? So that last one I talked about, Spectre PS, you could use that, right? Chlorphenapyr, non-repellent, not going to have any effect on the bait, right? The Doxim NXT, 2 non-repellents, not going to really have any effect on the bait. Again, I don't recommend spraying directly on the bait because there are other propellants and things in your aerosol, but absolutely you can use it in conjunction with baiting. Yeah, Spectre, anything on that non-repellent level there you can use.
All right, Kevin, it looks like you've answered all the questions in the chat. So I want to say thank you for attending today's webinar. Like I mentioned earlier, later today, you'll receive a follow-up email with a short survey and the recording of today's session. We'd appreciate you sharing your feedback with us. And on behalf of our speaker and Veseris, we sincerely thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Kevin. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris.